I have $60 and 26 days to thrift my Halloween costume. I'm being an Art Deco lady on the moon. We need to thrift the outfit and the backdrop. Let's go to the thrift store and see what we can find. You're gonna fall over when you see these Yves Saint Laurent heels. Hold them back up to get them on, and I'm not sure how to tie them. But look closely at this beautiful little sparkly deco, and look closely at that $40 price tag. That would be most of our budget. Let's put it in our cart and give it some thought. I have never seen a pink trench coat at the thrift store, priced at $23. Look at the fun piping inside. Super fun, but I think this is meant for someone else. I don't know how I feel about the colors of this dress. I do like the sparkles, and those could photograph really fun. Plus, we never know until we get it on. It's fitting over my hips, but my shoulder, it's where we run into a problem. Oh my goodness, this dress is so from the 90s. Look at that gorgeous falling beading on the top. I could add more sparkles to this and maybe use it. But once on, it didn't shine how I expected it to, and it was actually disappointing. I like this red texture, but I don't think the length works well on me. I do love the pattern of the skirt though. Is all this pink from the same person? This is one of the only adult costumes in stock. I think it's a coach, but it vaguely resembles jail, which is an absolute no. Thought about getting this to put in my hair as a sparkly hair clip. The back was super damaged, and I have never seen in real life sleeves like this. They are specifically super big at the wrist, which is really unique. But back to these Yves Saint Laurent. $40 is so much of our budget, but I found a 20% off coupon. It would be $31. And how often do we find Yves Saint Laurent in our size? Nearly as often as we'd all like to. These are actually one of my most expensive thrift store purchases ever, and I'm gonna tell you why I think I'm actually gonna do. Number one, they go really well with the costume with the little sparkly part, but number two is that I actually will wear these outside of my costume, which is more sustainable than just getting a piece for my costume. So because they can go both ways, I am gonna pull the trigger and spend $31 of $60 on one pair of shoes. Leaving with $29 left in our budget, honestly, that does make me nervous, but that also means we get to be more creative. Or at least that's how I have $29 and 22 days to thrift my Halloween costume. Recently, we thrifted these Yves Saint Laurent heels for $31 for the shoes of my Art Deco on the moon costume. Let's go to the thrift store. Is this Balenciaga from 2019? I've never seen a green tag, and oh, a designer t-shirt would never be sewn like this. If in black and sparkly, it could have worked, but no. Why could I fit my face through the hole in the middle of the chest? If only I had found this dress during the summer. I really like the crushed blue velvet, but the hole again, very big. I do want something sparkly for my costume. Ideally, it'll be a vintage dress. Look at the shade of purple. It's kind of iridescent. I'm wondering about buying a dress like this and cutting up the fabric. This screams Aquamarine by Addison Rae. This has a really pretty super sparkles to it, but wait a second. I love this. I'm heartbroken that it's too big. Kind of a cute lamp, but it's not vintage. And this reminds me so much of my cat Bee. If I needed a purple cape, this would be perfect, and someone hand knit this. Why am I tempted to get a putting partner? It returns the ball automatically. I don't even golf. Not guess, but yes. YESS. Iconic. A really pretty purse that we have to ignore because Halloween. I'm kind of into this Flintstones costume, but I feel like the wig should be better. And hello there. What are you doing here? I thought about giving up, but I saw this picture of a girl in the moon, and I was like, if that's not a sign to keep looking, I don't know what is. I wonder what each of these little symbols mean. This is quite the fancy jumpsuit, and oh my goodness. Ooh, why don't we pick up some faux Hermes while we're at it? I do not know what a bacon wave is, and I don't think I want to know. Check out this watch. It's from McDonald's. And this vintage dress that you guys loved last week is still at the thrift store. Have any ideas on what I could be with it for Halloween? Because it's still here, so I'm wondering if it's meant for me. I have $29 to thrift my Halloween costume. Recently, we found Yves Saint Laurent heels for my costume. And today we're looking for a vintage gown as well as paper to make a paper moon. Let's go to the thrift store. Every gown we look at, I need you to imagine it in black and white, because that's how I'm going to photograph my costume in the set. I actually think this might be perfect, but yeah, do you see that? I don't know if it's gonna zip, and I could sew it to make it work, but the amount of space on the zipper, that's actually not an easy fix. Even though this is gorgeous and perfect, the size is definitely not gorgeous and perfect for me. This is the cutest vintage butterfly costume. I could be this for another party. Let's see what size the bodysuit is. It's so cute. Oh no, someone stole it? It's just the wings, not the cute part. If you were a size 6.5, these Betsyville cherry shoes. Oh my gosh, these are adorable. They don't fit me. I need to look away. Now I thought, could my moon lady have a glamorous moment and have a little faux fur coat? Moon lady absolutely could, except my head looks like a floating moon. Somehow these are only priced at $6.99. Look like they'd be really heavy, but they're actually pretty light. Please don't judge my Pilates outfit. Okay, take a look. They're hard to see. They do fit, but they don't really go. I have $29 and 13 days to thrift my Halloween costume. I'm being a vintage lady on the moon. Today I want to thrift a white sparkly gown. Let's go to the thrift store. Holy moly. Are these heels with a moon and a star on them? Don't worry, I wiped them down with alcohol and guess the price. The brand is Vintage Stuart Weitzman and they're priced at $10.99. But I know what you're thinking, Alex, didn't you just thrift a pair of vintage Yves Saint Laurent heels for your costume? Wait, let's try on this jacket, but you're right, I did. And they are not returnable, but when have you seen ever since a more perfect shoe for a costume? So I kind of love this jacket. It's the best bright pink lining. Oh wait, another pair of vintage Stuart Weitzman heels. They're priced at $20, so if I got these and the moon heel, I would have no money for a dress, so we have to say no. I've never seen a dress like this before, sitting on a hill. A lot of bridesmaid style formal dresses, an entire Breville. Imagine if this actually worked. This Newfoundland dog sweater might be even better than the Breville. It is decision time, and at last place are these pink plaid pants. Fluffy coat is priced at $25. If we get that and the Moonstar heels, we are over our budget with no dress and no backdrop, as I still need to make a moon. I think we are going to take a risk and we're going to get the Moonstar heels. It takes us down to $19 to find a full dress, not just a dress but a gown, and to make the entire backdrop of all secondhand supplies. This is definitely feeling risky. Tell me if you think it's a risk worth taking or if I should just stay with the YSL. Importantly, tell me what you're being for Halloween. I have $19 left to thrift my Halloween costume. Make sure to follow if you want to see how it turns out. I have $19 in 1 week to thrift my Halloween costume. So far we thrifted these Moonstar heels and these vintage Yves Saint Laurent. Now we need to find a dress for my vintage Lady on the Moon costume. I want it to be super sparkly. In my dream world, I would have a Cleo Pepita dress. They're like $3,000 to $4,000 and I can't afford that. So let's try and thrift a dress and make something inspired by it. Our first find gives me hope, but at $17, I wouldn't be able to thrift the purse or the accessories I need, so it's a no. Next, I love this fabric, but it's not big enough to make a dress. We get this dress for the feather bottom. I'll consider it, but I really want something sparkly. Okay, we need to take the sparkle from this top and the silver from this and put them together to make my dream dress. She is poofly, she is sparkly, but honestly, I could see this being pretty on someone. And if you dye this a different color for Halloween, it would be really fun. The curse of sparkles in the wrong color continues. We've got the moons, but no sparkle. If this was a true vintage piece, maybe, but it's really poorly constructed. So hard for me to say no to vintage camera. What if we had sparkles to this one? Stop, this is absolutely adorable, but I do not need it. An expensive brand at the thrift store, but we have to look away and stay focused. Getting back on track with more sparkles, and with a coat of paint, this little cart could be so cute for a garden. But this is more what we're looking for. It's not perfect, but what if we could thrift some rhinestones or beads, and then I could add like the moon or the stars to the dress? Ooh, another idea is what if I add the leftover sparkles to my hair? Would eyelash glue make it hold? I think that's our new plan, but we are going to say no to this specifically sparkly dress simply because I don't like the neckline. The cut just isn't flattering on me. But now let's go look for some sparkle. I feel like the thrift store has such a good selection of arts, crafts, sparkles, and glitter. All these little baggies. I'm so confident that even if we don't find it today, we can definitely find some sort of pack of rhinestones or glitter at the thrift store. And do you ever think your phone memories just show you things to taunt you sometimes? Because this incredible display and dress is something I did not thrift last year in LA. And oh my goodness, if I had got this dress and dyed it black, it could have been amazing. Same with the sparkly suit I tried on 2 years ago that I did not thrift. And do not get me started on these sparkly suits that I also said no to. I should have gotten up early to get the silver one when it was released on a Tuesday morning. But I didn't, and I am forever regretting that. These could have been remade into something really cool for this costume, but I would have also had to have them in storage for the last 2 years. Just don't really have room for that. I have a budget of $19 and 6 days left to thrift my Halloween costume. I'm being a vintage lady on the moon. Today we're looking for supplies like sequins and sparkly fabric to DIY a moon dress. And we're looking for a sparkly purse. See what we can do with $19 at the thrift store. Oh no, starting with a pair of Manolos in my size, but we have to say no because we've already thrifted 2 pairs of shoes. We do not have budget for 3. I'm way too much of a chicken to thrift this. Speaking of chickens, did we teleport to 2019? I don't think this was ever used. Not an Ed Hardy plate. But wait, this is a twist. My friend just texted me she has all these leftover stars, but she wants me to trade a top I thrifted for them. I need to think about that, so let's keep looking at the thrift store. Help me pretend that we never saw this jacket. It's gorgeous. This shoe has a lot of personality, but not as much as all of these cowboy boots that I saw a few years ago. Nothing has been able to top these yet. Wow, this is so old. This is a poster from the Grand Palais in the late 70s. It's giving Halloween, but not the type that we want. This is not the first time I've seen this brand called Romantic Suit. If we could just scrub the H&M logo off of this, I feel like this is a cool case, but it's not even an option at what it's priced at. But let's head over to where some of the real sparkly stuff can be. Remember, we're looking for craft supplies, sparkly bags, and also open to any sparkly accessories. So we can't open the bag to inspect. We have to look from the outside. Nothing is standing out enough to take a financial risk on this bag. Oh no, only 1/2 of the best friend necklace. This has been here for days. What if it secretly works or it's an easy fix and we're all just passing it? These have been at the thrift store for over a week. They're Betsy Johnson. How has no one gone? Did someone DIY this? Because I don't think the top matches the bottom. Does anyone know anything about violins? Is 100 good? I actually thrifted this in red before. Could there be anything sparkly on the cart? Nope. And this video of the stars is definitely staring at me in my phone. Since I only have $19 left and I need to find the entire dress, all the accessories and everything, let's go ahead and we're gonna do a trade with my friend to get all of these sparkly stick-on stars. But we still do not have a dress or a purse or any moon or star related accessories, even just sparkly accessories. And we only have $19 left and now 5 days. I'm definitely starting to feel a little nervous, especially about the DIY, because I'm okay at DIYs, but I'm not like an expert. So I'm pretty nervous for how that's gonna turn out. But I believe in us and the power of watching tutorials. So follow along if you want to see how it turns out. Did I forget to mention I need to thrift the entire backdrop and make that too? Oh my goodness, I better get to work. I have a budget of $19 and 4 days left to thrift and DIY my Halloween costume. Recently we traded this sparkly top for this sparkly dress for my Lady on the Moon costume. But I want my dress to look like a Cleo Pepita dress, except they cost over $3,000 and I can't afford that. So we are gonna DIY this dress and add this pack of sparkly stars as well as some rhinestones I have. Here goes nothing. This is the dress before. Wait a second, let me speed this up so it's a bit faster. Ta-da! What do you think of it? Will the dress go with the vintage Stuart Weitzman heels I thrifted for $10.99? Do we need to add more or less glitter or more or less stars? Remember, this is our reference photo and tell me how you think I did. And be honest, because I really want your feedback, because we have 4 days to find a sparkly purse, figure out my hair, and decide on a makeup look. I have a budget of $19 and 3 days left to thrift my Halloween costume. Yesterday we bedazzled my dress in an attempt to make it look like a Cleo Pepita dress for my vintage Lady on the Moon Halloween costume. Today I want to thrift or DIY a crystal veil for my costume. Let's go to the thrift store. Hold up, do you see this? This is a vintage fascinator my aunt gave to me. And let's try to bedazzle it to match our inspiration. Oh, my supervisor is here. Here's what we're going to try to achieve. I want to line the faux crystals all around the outside of the veil. And then we're going to put some sparkled throughout the middle of it. Wait, I don't like the full lining. Wait, roll that clip again. Oop, this is taking me so long that my supervisor fell asleep. Sweet dreams, Bee. But this is the final product. I think I like it with only the half line of crystal. And remember, these are the thrifted shoes that it's going to go with. And this is the dress. Some of you liked, some said no sparkle, and some said to crop the dress. Love to know your thoughts with the headpiece and the shoe. And that means that I have $19 left. Thrift supplies to make the entire backdrop, hopefully a sparkly purse, in a dream world, some sort of sparkly cape. I think we have to pray to the thrift gods for the sparkly cape because that is going to be a real challenge. Remember, my final goal is not only the costume but also the backdrop. Slightly unsure why I did this to myself, but we love a challenge. And we have $19 left to do it all. Make sure you follow along if you want to see how it turns out. Tell me what you're being for Halloween and wish me luck.